Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us yet again for your Mortgage Minute Monday with the Linda May Tomko of ScotiaBank, Home Financing Advisor, L Extraordinaire. And if you haven't heard, breaking news, huge announcements from the federal government as it relates to you as a home buyer. And we have the pleasure of being joined by Linda May for her to tell you all about it. Linda May, what's happened?
Okay, so this morning, federal government announced that we are going to increase the insured mortgage caps. We used to have a cap on insured mortgage of 1 million. So you've seen a lot of listings out there that were like 999,000. That was so that we could kind of qualify under that 1 million mark so they could be an insured mortgage. So you could put minimum down payment. They're moving that up to 1.5 million effective December 15th. So not yet, but in, I don't know, what, 3 months? September, October, November. Oh, 4 months. They're moving that up to 1.5. So, Alex, what do you think it's going to do for the market in Alberta?
It's gonna increase prices, that's for sure. And
Yeah.
and just to elaborate on what this means, prior you would need conventional financing if you were purchasing over 1 million. So it would change
Right.
from you needed
Right.
5% on the first 100,000 and then 10% on from 501 to 1 million.
To
And then if you go a dollar
999,000. Yeah.
over, the whole amount needed to be conventional. So even if you
Exactly.
for $1,001, you needed the full conventional, and conventional mortgage needs 20%.
Right. So the insurers
Now,
have been asking for this for a long time, and they've been getting swiftly told no. This is something that so we have not seen the cap increase since 2012, but they've been asking for this for at least 2 years now.
yeah, and in
So
2012, it went from 800,000 to 1 million. So
to a
this is
million,
a
yeah,
significant jump by
yeah.
500,000 now. So that's a huge, huge change.
Yeah, and it makes sense, in especially in areas, in BC and Ontario, their average pricing is quite a bit more than Alberta. But specifically in Alberta, I think we are going to see jumps because those houses that were sitting at that 999,000 or even 899 now they may push them over to that million mark because they know they can still get insurance on them. So, um, and a good portion of Alberta buyers are insured buyers. So
Yeah, it'll
just
definitely have a big impact on the Calgary market, especially as their average home sale price is nearing $800,000 now. So
yeah,
Edmonton's still in the $500,000 to $600,000 range. So it won't have as big of an impact here, but it will definitely
right.
increase prices overall on an average sale price.
But in that higher market, even in Edmonton, it could push things up a little bit.
Yeah.
So, you thought that was all, but there is more. So, on top of that, we are now moving into the 30-year insured mortgage train. So, I believe it was in the spring that we had now announced that if you were a first-time home buyer and you were buying new, you could do a 30-year amortization on a purchase. Well, now they're extending that, so you don't have to be both. You can actually be either. So, first-time home buyer, any range of pricing, um, you can get a 30-year amortization. If you are purchasing a new build, any range of pricing, you can also do a 30-year amortization. So basically, you can purchase a $1.499 million property. If it's a new build, you can do a 30-year amortization on that property.
With insured, so you don't need the full 20% down.
Yeah, so you can do minimum down payment. So 5% on the first 500,000 and 10% on the balance.
Yeah. So that would be a total of 125,000, where before you would have needed, how much would it have been before?
1.5
300,000.
or well,
So you're saving 175,000 of
yeah,
needed down payment.
yeah. So, you know what? Overall, I think this is good news. If you're wanting prices to increase in Alberta, well, then it's great news for you.
Yeah.
um, it as far as like a qualifying, we're going to be able to qualify more people. for purchases, especially those new home buyers can now take it up to that next level. And I do think we're going to see, it just goes along with this push in Canada that we need more housing, and so they're making that, available, because they're pushing that new home build, enabled to go to that 30-year amortization.
Yeah. Where I'll see this probably be the biggest difference is it'll allow more home builders to build not just entry level product anymore. They can now
Totally.
focus again on the upgrader
Yeah.
purchasers, so that second purchase, because now the home first time home buyer will have the ability to still do a 30-year amortization on the entry level product, which might be your
Right.
classic bungalow, something like that. But then that bungalow seller is now going to be able to go into a new build. I'm assuming this will also qualify for infill new builds. It doesn't necessarily have to be a greenfield purchase from a mass builder. It probably could be.
I would assume so. We are waiting for some more clarification. So I know I spoke with the rep for Sagen this morning, and she said that they've been in touch with CMHC's CEO, and then I'm sure Christy Freeland's speaker. I don't know exactly.
Yeah, representative.
And just they're trying to get more clarification. Just because when you first read it, there is a bit of confusion coming out. Or are they still meaning the first time home buyer, or are they meaning the new build? But from what I'm reading, and the way that Sagen is taking it as well, is it's first time home buyer and as well new build purchases.
Yeah,
So
that's how I read
um
it as well.
if we have more updates, I will let you know next call. But
Yeah, and more information obviously will come out as time goes by. Because it'll also be interesting. Does this mean more people are doing custom home builds on their own property, where they maybe have a subdividable lot, they want to
right.
live there, so they build one skinny on themselves, use the other side as a
And
sale?
that would still, like, under our policies, that would still fall under new build.
Yeah. So it'll open up some more options for a lot of people. So this is good news. But until more houses are built and there's more available inventory for people, this will drive prices up within our local market.
100%. Yeah. Yeah.
So
So
means you got 4 months if you want to take advantage of your lower prices, and trust me, they're going to continue to rise. So if you want to take advantage of them now, right now would be a great time to reach out to someone like Linda May and figure out what you could actually be approved for. Rates are going on the decline, both in the fixed
they
and
are. Yep.
on the variable. I know they just have an amazing special that they just sent out for their 3-year interest rate on a fixed. So reach out to her, get your pre-approval, see what you can qualify for. Start shopping now, so as when these new things are implemented, it's just going to improve your availability. But if you can get the lower
Right.
price, that's better for you.
Yeah, and, like, even as rates go down, I mean, we've talked about this in the past, but I can lock in a rate today. If rates go down, you get the better rate. So, your pre-approval with me over the next 6 months should probably keep getting better.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
well, we'll see what happens, but I'm predicting, what did we say? I'm predicting a pretty steep reduction at the end of October in prime rate anyways, which, doesn't flip over to fixed immediately, but at some point it does affect fixed rate. So
Yeah.
good
I
news.
I'll be close to my guess. But anyways, that's a different story for a different day when I get to actually humble brag. But I'm Alex Ward, broker owner of Maxwell Devonshire Realty, and this was Linda May Tomko, home financing advisor with Scotiabank, and we look forward to seeing you on our next Mortgage Minute Mondays. See you, everyone.
Have a great Monday.